Minsa'y matuwa ang may likha, ang limang pulo ang ginawa, mga hiyas na binitawan, at ang layan na pinig.
I'll bring over Pekaz, toss, up into the air, slowing him up, illuminate. How much of a deterrent is this going to be? They'll actually pull him back into the torrent and they'll get the kill on GH, so the illuminate doesn't deter.
We're making a move one more time. Round 2, let's go.
Trying to chase Pekaz again. Does have that silver bind, which will immediately use on a Pekaz. They've got the break with sharpshooter and they'll get that kill. Luckily for him, he bought out of the point booster, went north towards that secret shop. Sacred, though, doesn't have primal split, so the illuminate will fly in and Sumail will get the kill.
I think Solarbind might be the most annoying ability in the game.
It's very frustrating. Avalanche toss with another illuminate. And down goes Panda.
Very good read from Shopify. Deso Shard type of a build where he needs to be more in the front line, and I think this time around, because you are playing into Brewmaster, you're playing into Bristleback, having magical damage is going to be really good, and also Gleipnir, because they are taking out multiple times. You will need to have something.
Bushwhack on the 2, and Sato's trying to get the kill on the Saberlight, goes into the black hole, but immediately stopped due to the damage.
Kaz took that through the quill sprays back, so Arteezy comes over and they relocate out.
Oh,
back
good
over
catch.
mid.
That Yule Scepter coming into play.
And the Solar Bind and the Bushwhack.
Acorn shot is coming.
So off that, they know the BKB's down. They smoke up again. They'll look. They've got Sumail over mid. Yule's illuminate. Now the Bramble Maze is down. They'll go to the ghost ship. But Yule's used by Slotums. Damage not done to Sumail, who throw that blinding light out onto this Kunkka. The Bushwhack comes in. The illuminate's going to be thrown over. And Sacred's going to come in with the primal split, as well as the relocate coming up from Pekaz, as well as Panda. They're coming from behind enemy lines.
Got the heal off.
Going to Sumail. Had that heal thanks to the illuminate in the daytime. Yule's in the air again, but just extending what seems
Heals
to be
himself
inevitable.
a bit
But
more.
Yule's is up. This Kunkka. Now Slotums is in trouble with Arteezy coming from behind. They get the kill to Sumail. They'll end up losing him. The Black Hole's in on the 2, but the Terrorize. Oh, stopping it again. And look at all these quills stacking up onto the Saberlight. They'll get the kill to the Enigma. That's 3 dead on the side of Shopify as they are chasing for more. They want Arteezy, who is without his BKB for 5 more seconds and will die. GH gets Knight in return and now needs to run from Pekaz, but it is looking like they can chase him under the tier 1 tower, and this should be a full team wipe for the side of Boom.
There's so much damage on the ground, like so much overtime damage coming up from these heroes. Radiance Burn, multiple Quill Sprays. I want to see damage dealt by Bristleback. 6,000 damage, there it is. 5,000 damage coming up from Brewmaster because he was not focused in the previous fight. So they have a pretty free reign. If he gets the split off, then you get hit by random torrents. Sumail did one hell of a job buying a lot of time for himself.
Avalanche, Panda, illuminated.
Cyclone.
Tethering over, Void Panda throws him backwards. Sacred's going to be back to form. Throw the Brambles down again. Arteezy with the BKB. He's going to try and output some damage. They're just not breaking through this outer shell of Boom at all.
Nobody's dying. They're tickling them with the damage. These Gleipnirs, Acorn shots are not doing much. Sacred did use Refresher. Slow siege from Boom Esports.
They could really just take this Rex and leave, but Torrent lands, Curse Crown pops. There's another Avalanche and toss it up Pekaz, but he goes to the Wind Waker. Immediately, Slotums is going to jump in here. The Sharpshooter misses again. Torrent Storm going to send a lot of these heroes into the air. Saberlight taking so much damage. He's got buyback, but Arteezy's dead with no buyback.
That might just be the game.
100 seconds, no Weaver.
Torrent Storm clipping on multiple heroes.
Stop.
And that's game.
There is just no way back into this one for Shopify at this point, unless
they also have Pandas, so basically they have 5 Pandas because their position 5 player is called that. So
there go the tier 4s. They've got the Hex. The tidal wave is on to Sumail. They'll start to work on this throne. Right clicks from Sacred just onto the throne, not worrying about anything else. Torrent Storm bouncing Gia jump into the air. They finally have Arteezy back. What can they do with this? Bushwhack's going to land on a Pekaz. They go to the primal split. They'll focus the throne. this is looking like that's it, and it will be as Boom force a game 3 with Shopify Rebellion.
That was such a clean.
Yeah, I think Shopify, this is the type of game you pick when you're one game away from getting eliminated. As long as you don't lose the early game and full grip of the game, you will be able to make any move you want 30 minutes plus into it, and that's probably what you want.
In terms of heroes that they gave them,
Yeah. Like to see Sacred back on the Brewmaster, to see the
Sacred
go back in
did
the game.
not have that good of a game early on. He was the one
Kaz?
to get as much farm, but Kaz,
Drop for First Blood. Will Saberlight changing his fortune. I mean, that was definitely a big switch from game 2 to game 3 on that one already. He feels pretty safe, I would say. As I say that, I feel like I almost eat those words immediately. But Hoodwink in the turnaround, they've got the Lucent Beam, Saberlight on the run. Bushwhack hits on a Kid Track, and they're looking to get the kill on a Saberlight. They'll Nightmare him up. They should get both, and will.
that's such
good
a nice
move
play
from
from
Knight.
Knight. First Knight falls, he comes down to the bottom lane, which leaves Sacred open.
Corner shot bounces back and forth twice. Total of 4 bounces, but hit him both 2 times. 3-man stun. Sumail's down here. Uh-oh.
That's
Trap,
a case that
Bushwhack. Sumail on the run. That's going to be one. They're looking
That's
for
a
another.
triple kill,
Picaz
most
is in
likely.
so much trouble. Forced to bring Zlotums down here with the disruption being
Zlatan
used.
TP's in.
Handa
They needed that.
moving forward, but back towards Sumail, and he's found an opportunity to go for this kill, but there is a Nightmare, which will be pulled off thanks to the disruption illusions. So Sumail running down Panda, has another trap, will slow him up, and needs a couple more right clicks to get this kill and maybe work his attention on a Picaz, but the Melon Strike's not enough. Now Picaz comes.
I really like the Shopify draft. I feel like this
Nice play
from
from
Knight.
Knight. First Knight falls, he comes down to the bottom lane, which leaves Sacred open.
Corn shot bounces back and forth twice. Total of 4 bounces, but hit him both 2 times. 3-man stun. Sumail's down here. Uh-oh.
That's
Trap,
a case that
Bushwhack. Sumail on the run. That's going to be one. They're looking
That's
for
a
another.
triple kill,
Picaz
most
is in
likely.
so much trouble. Forced to bring Zlotums down here with the disruption being
Zlatan
used.
TP's in.
Handa
They needed that.
moving forward, but back towards Sumail, and he's found an opportunity to go for this kill, but there is a Nightmare, which will be pulled off thanks to the disruption illusions. So Sumail running down Panda, has another trap, will slow him up, and needs a couple more right clicks to get this kill and maybe work his attention on a Picaz, but the Melon Strike's not enough. Now Picaz comes back in, they've got the X, they have Knight back into it. Icarus dive from
GH is here.
tore it up into the air, so those refractions are going to be gone, but they've got the disruption. That will save the refraction as well as the life potentially of Sumail, but it is just retreating. Controls Kid Track, they bring Zlotums as well as Picaz here. They've got the X. Pulling back early, the Torrent, the Blood Grenade. Kid Track's got disruption if need be. Ghost Ship will be off the mark, won't hit Kid Track. Now they've got themselves the Hoof Stomp, the Body Block, Saberlight. For a second there, he just feels like
Saberlight
a brick
is
wall.
built different. Yeah, he's just body blocking people. Looks like a stun every
Stampede
single time.
Gets ahead of the Bushwhack, sticking with Zlotums. The Acorn shot, now the Chrono on a 3, and he doesn't get any of his own
With the egg
teammates.
combo.
Perfect. Oh, Arteezy. Picaz on the run, now needs to get out of here. Icarus dive over, there's the Blood Grenade. Sacred's gonna TP, but this is well late. Maybe with this split, he can save Picaz, but Saberlight's got his attention onto the Luna, and Arteezy looking
More
to go
TP's
the
coming
other
in.
way. With these heroes respawning, they'll be back into the fight, the disruption to avoid that boulder being chucked by Sacred, but it looks like Kid Track's dead, but to who? It will be Sacred and not the neutrals. Little luck there for Arteezy, but Zlotums is starting to edge towards these steps. They do have Primal Split as well. And they'll go to the Ghost Ship. They've got the Fiend's Grip from
Egg
behind.
immediately.
Egg is immediate, but not in time. It stuns everybody, but there's nothing there to follow that up, and it's a kill on Arteezy, one desperately needed for Boom. Kaz is here, Cyclone up into the air. Already used that Icarus dive, so got the Torrent, have the damage. GH will be joining Arteezy.
Sumail. Whew. Almost one-shots Hoodwink there.
Oh, yeah.
And Radiant's completed this time. Saberlight also making a move with his Blink Dagger, so that's going to be a tower, which opens up the map.
Truthfully,
something we got rid of in terms of so many heroes with status resistance. But you see how strong it is there for Sacred. They go to the Stampede, they'll try to run. They have that silence on
doesn't have mana
Santos.
for it. Oh, man.
They had the silence thanks to the shard from the TA. Fiend's Grip onto Sumail.
It's a good egg.
Egg coming through. The damage, though, still in a Saberlight, enough to get the kill. The Nightmare is going to be pulled off or put on himself from Panda. This is Deso timing looking like, yeah, about 19 minutes. And Saberlight again, Sunray, Nightmare. They'll pull it off, and they'll stop the Sunray to do so. And then a Meld Strike with a couple of right clicks, and down goes Panda. Arteezy now. Will time walk away. Ghost Ship was committed. Oh, Torrent right as he threw the Chrono, so now Arteezy has to leave.
It's JK Chrono.
Yeah, seriously. Kid Track's going to die here to the Eclipse of Pakaz, but they found this Luna. They don't want to allow him that opportunity to TP out, but in doing so, now they don't go to the hook stop. They've got the turnaround with the Bushwhack as well as this sharpshooter from Hoodwink. So they get two. GH on the run. It's going to be 3 heroes that die here from the side of Shopify.
Big kill.
Just like that, this game is even. Make something happen here. Boom are the aggressors for the last 5 minutes or so, and they land that Torrent. It's going to be through in a Kid Track. He's got to try and run away and survive, but the Ghost Ship comes in. The Hoofstop's going to be there. Kid Track survives a little bit longer, but it won't be enough. Knight again off from the side, has that Bushwhack, but the damage from Sumail is too much for him. They'll end up getting the kill.
There's the grip.
Panda pulls him back into the Fiend's Grip, but it's going to be stopped thanks to the Shard of TA again with that trap, but Zottoms has the damage, and they get the kill to Saberlight anyway. Ooh, going Axe. Okay.
Banes,
Blink
they
Axe.
can catch a break. Yeah,
Not at all.
holding on to Philosopher's Stone. Break mechanic is going to be pretty massive against Luna, removing a lot of their damage. Lunar Blessing and Moonglaves.
Sumail, no fear. Jumps in, the Torrent
That's
on
hard.
a 2. Disruption onto Sumail, and that's going to try and save him, but the Eclipse, the Meld, it doesn't matter. They both die. They
guys?
wanted Pakaz and just jumped in to die.
That's the power of the Shard, taking the reduced damage and also having level 20 talent. 1 Lucent Beam, Eclipse.
Chrono for Knight.
Oh, Knight. 500 gold for him, but this should be a free tier 2 tower in the mid lane, and they might even go for more because
they TP'd, and they're going to try, I think, to walk it over. Really smoke, but it's just so slow. And now with Arteezy here, they'll get the Aegis, and they'll leave Roche's banner? No. Kid Track finally went back in and picked it up.